Okay, so welcome to a coding walkthrough. Not those live demos. Uh, I'm just gonna get on with things and follow along. So this is a 4K screen. So what we're going to do to benefit people who may have only 1920 by 1080 or something like that is set a different font on the main screen that we're going to be, the main editor that and we're going to iconify that, move that into here. It's going to be in the way of several of these things, but that's okay. Now, the problem we've got is first is that let me center it. I did another video on it, and it wasn't clear until I actually assembled the things. This pipe here, this big one, is right in the way. Yeah. Two things. One is the user's feet and the driver's feet, and the second is in the way of putting in a view from the back. It's right in the way of putting in some pipes for supporting the floor, which, wow, really slow refresh rate because it's so busy. I need to cut some of the things out in what have been displayed just here. Okay, and one on the corresponding side as well. Alright, so where the central cursor is at the moment, it's just when it catches up. There. Alright, so going directly into the screen, we need to put some pipes in here. So let's get a bit of our cursor back. So we want the roof points. We want the roof. Where's the roof? Roof. Roof, roof, roof. Set that to false. Save. Oh yes, I remember. The comma is has a macro save. Anyway, so roof is gone. We didn't need it. Likewise, we don't want the dashboard door. That could be made visible. True as yeah, false. That one can be made visible as well. There we go. Alright, so now we've got our refresh rate back a little bit. I'm building something at the moment, that's why we get horrendous CPU time. In fact, tell you what, let's... and it's running unit tests, and we're unpacking Trinity Desktop for a thing. That'll do. It's wondering why the load average is up at 18 down the bottom corner. Now, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the airbox, and we're going to VI airbox. We're going to swap over the this pipe here, this one that goes up from there to there. Now this is tricky because we have the points. We're not going to move the points themselves, we're going to move the pipes, but we need to identify which ones are which, and I have commented them, but it's actually quite inconvenient to find the ones. So what I tend to do is to put in, take the last line there and just return early. And on this window, I'm going to do it once. I'm going to foreground it, and then I'm going to just move the cursor. I'm using FOSSHW with auto focus on mouse move over, not mouse click. So I can do this and press return, and it will rebuild the model. And there we go. Right, so so the top things have disappeared. Join to bonnets, save, move mouse up arrow, return. You can't see it behind the thing, but it's actually running. Airbox to floor. Let's have a look. Save, move up arrow, return. Hey, not that one. Join across the front section. Those ones. Okay, and I'll bet you it is that one. So just by commenting things out, yes, it is. By just by commenting things out, you can find where it is. Okay, you don't have to delete everything. All right, so we know it's this one. Let's put it back. Let's put everything back. All right, and what we're going to do is -1 in Python means the end of the list. So let's do -2. That means 2 from the end of the list. Ugh, didn't want that. Right. Okay. So the floor points are in yellow, but actually we want to connect to bbase. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to do to bbase 0, 0, and this is one that's already in. Nope. bbase 2. And floor points 1. So we're swapping over. Is that right? That's one that's already in as well. What the hell are we actually doing? Let's comment those out so we can see what we're doing. Now we want on the bbase 1, 0. Do we want it flipped over to the other side? No. Do we want it flipped over to... I'm trying to figure out the dimensions here of the thing. Back base. Sorry, whilst I just try and work this out. It's actually we want to go from the. Do we want to go from the floor points? It's not B base, it's base, isn't it? Nope. I'm trying to work out the dimensions here. Back base. Now, where the heck are we trying to go to? We're trying to go from this point here, and that is the to that point there, and we already have that one done. That point is one of the uprights, so let's track down what upright did that. Right, that is the that is floor points. Floor points. No, it's base. Yes, it is actually base, and it's base. Take that out. Take that out. Okay, So we've taken that out, and we're going to move to base knots. Aha, there we go. And now we're cooking. 1, 2, base 2, and that would be actually be base -1, but there we go. Okay, we're on the right lines, and we actually want this the left-hand one, base 1. Fantastic. Okay, great. Success at last. Okay, so that's this point here is now correct. Now we want to move this one forward one. But first we want it to be, yes, we want it to be on that line. I don't think it is, the floor points is not the same as the joining to the base, the front floor. Now let's find the ones that go to that, and have we passed them in? Bonnet points, floor points. We've passed in the bonnet points. We've passed in here. I'm looking at this line here. We've passed in the bonnet points. We've passed in the floor points. We've passed in an offset into the make function. But what we're not passed in is the front base points. So what we're going to have to do is actually pass those in as an extra parameter. Where is our airbox? There it is. And we want the front points. So we're going to have to add, and front points here is the ones that are from the front section, which I will just true. I will just bring those in so you can see them. Yeah, the orange. So that. Where do we want to go to? We want to go to that orange point. It's a bit big, but the F points is what needs to be passed in. Okay, so we're going to add an extra argument, F points here, which in jobs %8, %87 in here. Now we have those F points. We don't need to know where they are. Or actually, you know what? Let's actually keep them in. Because we'll be able to track them down. %8. So we've got F points. Funny that this is the first time this has ever been done. And this was the one, F points. Now let's just go 0,0 initially. And it should be to this one here. Yes, brilliant. Okay, so to work out which order the dimensions of the arrays is in, we're going to increase that one. And I'll bet you it jumps right towards that front. Yes, it does. So that was a 4 dimension, and instead we're going to do the Y dimension. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's in. Now we have to check something, which is that the node that is being created doesn't have any overlaps, and for that we have to really zoom in. So there's an auto function. Auto will calculate the best angle, but sometimes there's so many nodes in one place that so many joints in one node that it just doesn't cope, because it's approximate angles, and you can see one back there. Oh no, that one's all right. The one that was up from there. So that is centered on the cursor. So now let's zoom in. And a little bit of overlap is fine. You can see the actual two pipes are themselves things. Now, if we were truly using 13mm pipes, I will be concerned about that. But given that we're using bamboo, which varies from anywhere down to 5mm up to the thing, you know what? For the purposes of demonstration and things, let's actually move that forward. So what it has done is it's created one. If I can zoom back out again, I can get an idea of the scale. It's too small, isn't it? If we look at it from above, it's just that little bit too small. So we've got a couple of choices. We can actually move it so that it goes. I think the best one is to move it so that it goes between these two. And that there is some naming conventions I've done in here, which is a joint, and then you have an up, a down, a forward, a back, a left, a right, and then for right forwards JRF. So and some of them are larger or smaller than others, so we can work out what we need based on the fact that to the right is forward. So we want a back and we want an up. We want a JBU, a joint back up. Okay, now we could do a JBU2, which is slightly smaller, slightly larger, but that JBU2 is a larger one, so it's doing a square root. Yeah, square root of thing, so it gets progressively smaller. So let's do a JBU first and see how that goes. %8. Now again, comma, and it's a D thin auto, comma, JBU. I happen to know these arguments, what they are, and I'm not using what's it called, keywords, so what the heck. Right, we've got the wrong end. We've just put in the wrong end. So if we have a look at that, yes, you can see right up here, it's gone JBU, but on the wrong end. Excellent. And now let's have a look at this one, and it's moved over. Yay! And you see the blue is no longer overlapping with that one. Let's take those out so you can see. Yeah, this line here. Let's put it back, and that's shuffled over. Yeah, So when the joint, it goes back and up, and the D-thin is the thickness. There we go, brilliant. Now just here, that does not actually cut into that pipe. The surround, what I've done is I've made sure that the subtracting a difference part for put into the pipes extends a long way out, so that it will cut anything in these cones that is potentially in the way. So all of the things, the joint is added first, but the pipes themselves are cut out as a group from that. It's you don't end up creating the joint with its hole in it. Oh, and then you add another one, and that overlaps with it. It's done the other way round. Thing. Okay, so I'm happy with that one. That's in the right place. And the thing. All right, so let's check the other one. Now what you do is, to get the alignment correct, okay, bink, you put where you want to view in 2 of the dimensions, you bring it in, and then this is critically important, you rotate through 90 degrees, okay, and then bring it in, rotate again through 90 degrees. OpenSCAD is very annoying. In a lot of CAD programs, if the cursor is automatically jumped to the center, to center point when you start zooming in. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that in OpenSCAD's viewer. So you have to actually put the cursor in at the center. So this is the pipe that we are checking. It's on auto. You can see the auto argument, which is the default. Strictly speaking, we didn't need to do it, add it to the thing, but I just like to add both of them. And no, that's perfect. That's completely free and clear. No interference on this pipe here, which you can see. No interference on that one. And no interference on this one either. So yeah. Why, aye man, I'm well happy with that. Okay, so now let's do a git diff and see what the damage is. Okay, so we've got some pipes commented out. Git diff. We've got a couple of things that are visible. Okay, all right, we've returned too early, so we've removed some of the ones at the rear. Yeah, brilliant. That's good. Those are brought back in. Git diff again. Excuse me, hiccups. Okay, so that was actually very simple. %1. Undo git diff. Just want to minimize the size of this diff. I was doing it. We don't need to commit that floor car util thing on there, but we can do. It doesn't. I really don't like that. No, I'll exclude it. So we're going to git commit. Git commit. And the 2 files were car model and airbox -m. Move footwell. By the way, if you haven't used Git, do use it and do put commit messages that are actually useful. Git log. Yeah. Alright, so down here, the last commit, overlapping joints on floor nodes up to driver seat support in the airbox. I added a feature of searching through all the pipes connected right across the model, which wasn't previously done. I fixed and overlapped a couple of overlapping joint locations in the airbags dash to bonnets, etc., etc. So you can see the history of what it was that you did and why you didn't. You don't put committed this, added that, remove this file. That's completely useless, and you can see it by doing git status and git it, showing the information of what files were committed. So this is the why and the action list. So moved footwell pipe to out forward at base rather than back, makes room for feet and for the floor reinforcement. Ta-da! And I'm not going to do git push, I'm going to do make uploads. Git push you would do if you had a repository to vi.git/config. This is a bare repository, not a bare repository, but I haven't got a push up, I think, but I'm just using rsync to copy it up, and then people can clone from that .git repository using HTTP. So that's done. The next one that I will do will be to add the reinforcement pipes that run along the floor, and view back, go and then we'll go through here, view left, and right the way along the length, filling in from this visual left thing. They'll basically fill in that entire triangle thing that you can see there. So what else to say? I think we're done. Next one will be the that shape. Thank you very much.